1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm trying to think of excited. Okay. Moon Down Moods podcast. Lee Bishop, Erica Milani. We're talking about Catfish, season 1, episode 9, and yeah, you don't have to say all this stuff over here. That's fine. I'll just. So you want to get my opinion on it?
Yeah. So I sent you the link to this episode because I wanted to get your opinion on this particular episode. I was floored. I did not expect to hear what I heard, see what I saw. The storyline, the people, the one thing I can say about these people is they were meant to meet. I think they were equally yoked. They had the same level of intelligence. But the one thing that they did not match is on self-respect. I will say that.
Well, I don't watch this show, but this I'm glad that this was only an 8-minute clip. So I did watch it, and yeah, it had some twists and turns there. But I don't know. That was weird. I don't know what to say. I guess spoiler alert first. If you haven't seen it, season 1 is like 2013, so it's pretty old. But yeah. So can I get? I want to get to the end part.
The end of it? Well, okay. Let's start with this. Okay, so in this particular episode, this man named Rod calls Catfish because he wants to find Ebony, who is someone that he met on a transgender dating site, and he was not sure if she was real, and he would be very upset if Ebony isn't real because I guess he fell for Ebony.
By the way,
he tried to meet Ebony many times and it never worked out.
Why do they have a TS dating sites, but why do TS individuals still go on regular dating sites like heterosexual dating sites if they have TS dating sites? I don't get that.
I think it's because the dating pool, the quality of the people on the dating sites are probably better. I do feel like sometimes when you get, because I'll say the same thing, like remember Black Planet?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the type of dudes that I met or someone could meet on Black Planet are not the same quality of dudes that you would meet on like a Hinge or even a
But you're gonna get people who want to date TS people. Like you're not gonna get people on the heterosexual ones who want to date TS people.
I'll say this, like you can meet people who want to date someone who is TS and maybe they might find out later or maybe they might be open, but I feel like what happens is when you make a niche platform like that and you don't filter the people out, you could be preyed upon. And I think that's what ends up happening a lot of times is they get preyed upon and you end up with the worst of the worst instead of just like dating in the full pool. But I don't know. I'm not a TS person. I can't speak on it, but I can understand that part, like where it does tend to be like a breeding ground for people who will prey on you because they think that you're TS, that your standards are probably lower, you'll put up with anything. Like, and then there's people who feel like they are the gender, like I should be able to like date, if I'm a trans woman, then you know that's no different than a woman for the quality of man I want. I still want to be treated like a woman, so that happens too. I
want to know if that actually worked. Like if a TS individual actually was on a hetero or is on a heterosexual dating site and they actually found a man who didn't mind and dated.
I think so because I
like to hear it.
Yeah, I like to hear it.
I know they divulge that, and I'm glad they do, because sometimes I would look at him like, this is a man, and then I read and like, it's a man, because you can't, it's just apparent that you're a man. But I wonder if there's any like successful like love stories because I feel like if a man is looking for that like this guy on Catfish, like he's gonna go on those sites and he looked like a cool dude until the end. And then at the end I feel like he was an asshole, but he was looking for that type of person. Like, why am I getting on a heterosexual dating site I'm not there to find a tranny. I'm there to date a woman. Trans whatever. I'm sorry.
So, okay, so this is the thing. This is where we come into this story and the problematic behavior of this Rod. I mean, like when I was saying, like, we're worried about being preyed upon. I think Rod was a great example of preying upon a trans woman because Rod didn't even use his own name. He said his name was KD or KJ, and he was using
KG?
Pictures of his cousin. So Rod wasn't even using his own look, like, which was strange. And his excuse, but Rod was the one who was thinking Ebony was the catfish. So why, like, they were both catfishing each other, and it was just strange that he had the audacity to make sure that she was who she was when he wasn't who he was at all. At least Ebony used her own pictures and her name. Her name was right. So Rod was like, he was false. He was false for that. He was false for like using wrong pictures, wrong name.
That's what catfish is.
And
then plot twist.
Well, let's put it out this way. I'm pretty sure he didn't get permission from his cousin. Can I use your name and your pictures? Well, I don't know if that was his cousin's name, but can I use your information because I want to create a profile to look for a trans woman? I mean, would you be okay with that? If somebody used your pictures and your name, say, hey, my name is Lee, I'm looking for a trans woman on a website?
No.
That's flawed. That's flawed to do that to somebody. So let's just start there. Like, he was messed up for that. The audacity.
Okay, let's not get on the dude. The woman's wrong too.
Well, we'll get to that. This is when at the beginning, I said they were equally yoked and their intelligence was equal. Like, this is where I feel like they're meant to be because they were both on one. So the woman, Ebony, okay. Ebony had a profile. I don't know what her profile looked like. I didn't watch the whole episode, but basically she claimed to be trans. When Rod meets her and he says, okay, well, she's wondering, why don't you look like your pictures? He says, well, those aren't my pictures and that's not my name. My name is Rod. And she's like, oh.
She says.
And so she says, well, okay. And so she chooses to divulge that she's not even trans.
And?
I think this is...
Keep going.
Well, she's not even trans.
Okay,
what else was there to it? The fact that...
She has an 11-year-old daughter.
Oh, and she has a daughter.
And she used to date women.
Well...
Her whole life.
Okay.
This is her first man.
But think about it like this. What if Ebony was trans and Ebony had an 11-year-old daughter and Ebony used to date women? Do you think that Rod would care?
No.
Me neither.
Because he didn't care because she brought up the daughter first and he didn't care.
I think that he cared more that she wasn't trans.
I think he cared more that she wasn't because he went on the site looking for a TS person.
I agree. And I think that's why he was mad.
I think and then they get in the car and he's like, I was basically using her because she was paying my phone bill. That's my biggest thing. So I think he said that to save face because he wanted a TS person.
I think so too.
I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think it was the bill. I don't think he was being honest. I think he was upset that because you could tell like
his energy changed.
Yeah, after the confessions were out, and then they're standing there, and she leaves real quick, and they're like, oh, we're about to leave, and everything. Like the mood just changed. The whole room just changed. The guy in the car, his attitude changed. He wanted a TS. And she wasn't it. And that's it. It's over.
And it was interesting because when I saw her before really knowing that she was supposed to be trans, I knew she wasn't trans.
I didn't even pay attention.
I could tell she wasn't trans.
I didn't know that's what he wanted. until he said that.
Oh yeah, because okay, so yeah, the link I sent you was a different link that I originally saw. I had to dig up, their actual, because the other one would have been way too long.
Yeah,
so I just dug up their name and then I saw a little bit more of what happened. I saw more of his backstory where they put him on the spot about, okay, you're sitting up there calling us for catfish. Do you see how hypocritical it is that you need to know Ebony is real and you're not even using the picture? And the dude started laughing. And then when they said, no, I'm serious, and then he fixed his face. So the guy is a good actor because he was acting a lot.
So me not knowing that whole situation, she looked like a woman to me.
Yeah, she looked like a woman to me too. That's why I was like, she's not trans. And
you're saying she wasn't.
She didn't look trans at all, and she looked like a mom. Like she looked like somebody's mom to me.
And she was.
Yeah, and she was. Yeah, you're right. She was somebody's mom. And so I think
I'm curious to know like what made her want to change to dating men. I wonder if that's a common thing. Like, and everybody has the right to be bisexual. I actually think people are bisexual. But I wonder what made her decide to start dating men, and why go on a TS dating site when you can just go on Bumble?
I think that is the most confusing part for me, is why I feel like this girl really is putting herself in the position that she will accept what I think this society considers the lowest of the low.
I feel like she did that maybe as a gateway to start dating heterosexual men, because she's been homosexual, I guess, her whole life is what she said.
Which I don't believe, because she has a child that's 11 years old.
Because a lot of lesbian couples have kids.
Yeah, but she wasn't a couple. I don't think she was a couple and had a kid. I bet you if I Googled her right now, she got a baby daddy somewhere.
It's very possible, but we also know that lesbians obviously have kids. Lesbian couples have kids. Anyway, so for her,
I'm Googling her right now.
I think she was so used to being in that rainbow group that I think her gateway to actually dating somebody who's heterosexual or male, maybe this was her like introduction to that, because she wanted to stay in her realm because that's what she's been used to. Because it just doesn't make any sense for her to do that out the gate, just to go on a TS site and lie about being a transsexual.
I don't even believe that. I believe that she's tried everything and it hasn't worked out. So she's like, well, maybe if I pretend like I'm trans, then for a guy who's trans attracted, maybe I can look, because I'm so passing, because I am a woman, that maybe I can get a guy there. I feel like her tactics to find someone in her life have not been working all this time.
Very possible.
But she was doing anything and everything to get a man to me, or to get someone, and it just hasn't been working.
Like you said, equally yoked. They both went to the extremes to find each other. It's so bizarre to me.
But even
people do this.
Even not just that, but like her energy, like, okay. Have you ever like had a girl that liked you and you felt like she was trying too hard and it turned you off?
Yes.
Like, didn't you get that energy from her? Like, hi! Oh my goodness! You look so nice! Everything sounded like that. Like, she was kind of giving a little fake vibe going on, which I could see that could kind of deter someone, especially if you're not everything they were looking for. Then he's like,
I mean, I've never had that, but not like that. But I've had somebody who's very thirsty for me.
Yeah, thirsty.
But not like
were
that.
Were you getting thirsty vibes from their meeting? Because I was getting a little bit of thirsty vibes.
I was getting vibes that these people have never been on camera before, and they were nervous. And at first, I was like thinking, why is she so excited? And said, oh, this is you, it's you. And then we go into the kitchen, and she's like, you don't look nothing like your pictures. But at the front door, I was saying, this is you, it's you. So how do you know it was him? But
exactly.
Then you said though, the camera people, the catfish people already told her that they were coming, so she probably had that premonition, and she's like putting two and two together as they walk to the kitchen. This nigga don't look the same as the pictures. So
right.
Then that's when she confronted him. So that's me processing this whole situation.
So for me, I was having a hard time with that because I would be like, damn, you call catfish on me because you think I'm not real, but I don't even recognize you. You don't look like your pictures. Like, this is the stuff that would probably burn me up and get mad, and I have like an issue with you because I'd be like, okay, you don't look like your pictures. You're telling me you purposely didn't use your pictures, and this isn't your name, and you purposely didn't do it because you thought I was crazy. Now I would be feeling a certain kind of way, and you're a liar, and you come up in my house lying. But she was so receptive where he was like, well, that ain't my picture, that ain't my name, do you forgive me? And she was like, okay, I forgive you. It seemed like she didn't care who came to the door.
No, because she fucked up too, though.
Well, I felt like she didn't care who came to the door as long as the person have 4 limbs, can walk upright. I think she was happy.
I didn't get that from her. I got the fact that they equally lied to each other. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, how can I, if I don't forgive you, I'd be a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he had no problem being a hypocrite.
He was already out the door.
He didn't care what kind of hypocrite he was.
I'm out.
That's how okay, so I have a trans friend that...
Wait, real quick. And the conundrum was because he wanted to keep his phone bill paid. He's thinking, I don't know, if I should leave a stay because I still wanted to pay my bill.
I don't think he cared about that because he was willing.
That was the thing he was saying in the car.
Well, what I didn't show you is he ended up breaking up with her that same day.
They were together?
No, he wanted to meet her.
Oh,
he cut it off. So what you didn't see is the same day he went over to her house, sat her down on the couch and said, I didn't want to feel like, I was using you or taking advantage of you because you pay my bill.
But he was.
And then he broke up with her. And I'm like, then why did you even want to meet her? Because you wanted to see that D.
You want to see that D?
He did. Okay, so.
Because he got on the site for that.
So this is where I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I might get attacked for this, but I have a trans friend that kind of said this to me, like,
we're not that worldwide, so you'll
in dating that they had a problem with someone who they were intimate with wanted to see their private parts and wanted you to have a penis and wanted because they felt like, well, then that person is gay. Like, they wanted to be seen as a woman. And I was like, okay, I kind of get that. I get that on your end. But the person who were, like, when Malik Yoba brought up this trans attracted term, when you're attracted to a trans person, are you attracted knowing that they have a penis? Because that's what it looked like from this Ebony Rob situation, that because when he found out she wasn't trans, he wasn't interested anymore. Now, he didn't say that, we're making that assumption, but it kind of seems like that is a very important element to the whole
that's why they
experience. Get on the sites. But yet, when other people explain it, they never explain it like that.
Because they don't want to bring that up because it's too gay.
And this is on the man side. Yeah, it's on the man side of things because they would have to admit that they were interested in that. Yeah. Now, if somebody was post-op, which means they had the surgery to change their physical gender or their body parts.
Yes.
Like, I feel like post-op trans probably aren't as sexually desired as the pre-op ones. Now, this is my assumption. I don't know, but I keep on hearing this story over and over again that some of these dudes want to know, do you still have it?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of TS women who are very, very attractive. And if you're a heterosexual man and you see something attractive, you're not thinking if this is a man or a woman. You're thinking this is a woman. Mm-hmm. Now, if the woman is post-op, that depending on the heterosexual man, I don't know why I'm doing this. Hassan chops. Then it matters because I didn't date you for a penis. I dated you for a vagina. So if you're a post-op, it makes all the difference. If you're a TS and you still have your bits, then it's not that's not what I want. I don't want to put my dick in your butthole. I want to put my dick in your vagina.
Which means that you're not,
heterosexual.
Does that mean you're not trans attracted? If
No,
you're in
I'm attracted to a woman.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be on a TS dating site.
So this is.
I'd be on Bumble.
I would love the conversation to open up for men who are attracted, but I don't know if the climate is ready for that, because it would be more helpful for men to admit that when they say trans attracted, it means am I post-op trans attracted, pre-op trans attracted, because it does matter. It apparently
does matter. I think men who like trans love trans. They like the the bits and they like the booty.
And then when it comes, and that's for men who are attracted to trans.
And they might get it
for women who are attracted to trans, like there is a kind of a, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a post-op and a pre-op.
I don't think it's the same.
But there's a aspect where there's hormone levels that can create something that is like a pineal gland or whatnot. But we have toys and stuff like that too, where I mean, some people, I mean, I don't know, I've seen a lot of fluidity in this with girls, with females. Like,
I think for women it's more dynamic. I think for guys, I think it's more of a taboo. Like, you know, men are afraid of another dick, and that's why threesomes are usually most of the time 2 girls and 1 guy, unless you're like comfortable with the other guy, like the other guy's your friend, then you don't mind. But it's there's this whole like fear of homophobia. Is it homophobia? There's this homophobia thing, you know, so they don't want to be looked at as gay.
But this is the thing. But in the bedroom, I just have this hypothesis that pre-op is more desired than post-op. I feel like men have a more of a stigma if you're a trans woman and they find out you just had surgery to have a vagina than if you still had your penis.
I think if guys want to date TS women, they want to touch your penis.
Yeah, I have that same assumption.
They want to suck it, but they like titties. So it's like the best of both worlds. So they suck your dick and grab your boobies.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be flagged. This is rated X now.
That's what it is.
Okay, well.
They want the cake and eat it too.
So okay, let me ask you this then.
Cake.
Would you be mad if you were dating this woman for a while, you really were into her, and you found out that she was post-op trans?
Post-op?
Mm-hmm.
No. Did she look? And I'm attracted to her. She
everything. Like you didn't know. You couldn't tell the difference.
And she post-op like no dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad.
You wouldn't be mad. Okay. All right. Well then, maybe it's time.
It'd be too late. I really like her, right?
Well, as long as you just don't. Well, this is the thing. Like,
I don't care.
There is this thing.
I mean, I do care.
Unfortunately, in this time and age, you can't erase your past. Like, somebody from high school can dig up your old photos and blast it all over social media and say, oh, so-and-so used to be a man, used to be a girl. Like, you know, that stuff can happen, which is kind of hateful, and it makes people like jump down your throat because of what you used to be and how you decided to live your life now, like 10 years later. Like, that is a thing.
Yes.
Otherwise, I agree, it shouldn't be a problem. It's just that people dig up like things that happened a long time ago and put that at the forefront of their mind. But I'm at the age where if you're in a relationship, you're happy, and your partner doesn't care, then why should I? That goes for cheating. That goes for having babies with other people. That goes for wanting to wear your husband wanting to wear your panties. Like, if you want to be with him or you want to be with her and that was their past, like she used to be a hoe on the streets, hoe, like, it's none of my business.
Or a porn star.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
It's not up to me to dig up her past and say so-and-so used to do this, that, and the other. I don't care.
It's like us, we start from here till the future, till we break up or till we die.
Yeah, that's.
We start from there.
So that's nice. Like, that's actually really nice that you do that, because That is kind of a pet peeve of mine. Like when dating is when people want to, like, they're so concerned about what happened way back when
and what other people say
than what's happening now, because our lives are going to change. We're going to go through phases. I mean, what I did when I was 16 should have nothing to do with when I'm in my 30s. I mean, so who cares? Who cares? But I don't know. It's just.
I feel like if you're a dude and you still care about what your friends think, then you need to grow up.
It could be complete strangers. People care about what complete strangers think.
Yeah.
And complete strangers think they have the right to actually comment on it.
I mean, I think that I think they do have the right. Anybody has the right to their opinions. It's just I hate it when they like tell me.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's your opinion, but you feel you need to go put your opinion to the people who are the parties involved. Like, why? You don't even know them. You don't even know them.
Yeah,
you're not a part of their family. Like,
and then who cares?
It's. I mean, I guess we're getting into blogger territory.
But you can have your own opinion.
But people must care because, otherwise blogger, Twitter, like, people wouldn't make money off of it. Knowing other people's business and people caring about
the whole reason why we have a cancel culture is because of Twitter, and then the companies, don't want to lose money, so they'll cancel people because of what they said 10 years ago because they want to lose money.
Well, that's a good point.
Because off of 50 people who are like, oh, Kevin Hart said this, blah blah blah, like.
But that's different. Like if you say, I'm a neo-Nazi 10 years ago, that's affecting my life. Like, you're in a powerful position that can affect my life. But who you have sex with and you guys cheat on Tuesdays, that has nothing to do with me.
And look at Mr. C. Like Mr. C got caught with the TS and he cried about it on the radio and everybody forgave him and he still has a job.
And that has nothing to do with me either. I don't even care.
I mean, the hip hop is so male chauvinistic and homophobic. That was a big deal, and he thought he was going to get I won't say canceled, but he was going to lose his job and his integrity and stuff. But he's still working and he's still doing his thing. He's still a good DJ. He still has a job, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's good.
Look in Sopranos. Like Sopranos has some gay moments on there, and Omar from The Wire. Like everybody knows somebody gay in the neighborhood, even in the hood. Like. Who cares what people do in their bedroom?
But it has affected some people's lives, like Chingy. It affected his career.
But that's because
it didn't even happen.
But he let it though.
He didn't let it happen.
I think he let it as far as him being homophobic about it.
I don't think he was homophobic about it. He was just like, "What are you talking about?" And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, I took a picture with her." But
okay, then how did it hurt his career then?
Because he lost deals over it. When the word came out,
what
ended up happening was, and it's no fault of his, but it was, what was her name? Her name was something Star. She was a clout chaser before that was a word, and she was trying to put herself on the map, and she lied and said they had an affair, and she used a picture that she took with him on a gig that she did.
And he didn't know.
She was backstage, and he takes pictures with
fans.
Yeah,
he didn't know it was
and he took a picture, and then she years later said she had a thing with him and used the picture, and he had lost deals, and he had talked about it. He said, yeah, he lost some deals because then it became, I feel like people personally were hating on him anyway, and that was just an excuse. And she ended up apologizing, but so many years later, and to me the apology was like for clout too.
I think he should have brought it up because remember in the song, because remember when Lil Wayne and Bird got caught kissing each other on the picture, and then Lil Wayne brought it up in the mixtape. He said, I kiss my daddy, that's my daddy.
Oh, so
like he brought it up.
Who brought it up?
Lil Wayne.
Oh, but what does that have to do with Chingy?
Huh?
What does that have to do with Chingy?
He should have brought it up in the song. He should have just confronted it instead of.
But he didn't have an affair. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like Lil Wayne kissed Bird. He just took a picture with a fan. Like that's kind of a stupid. Like, why do you have to defend something that didn't happen? That's what I'm
saying. Why
saying.
did he need a deal though? He didn't save his money. Like he couldn't come out independent like Lil Wayne and everybody else. Like,
wasn't he independent already? Oh no. Well,
what deal did he lose?
He had talked about it. He did an interview about it. That people like recently, because he said, yeah, that actually affected my career. Like I lost. I think he said he had lost, but you know, I think
it has to do with him.
I will say this: I like Chingy, and like I feel like a lot of people hate on him, but I like him because I feel like when that happened, I didn't hear anything from him. He didn't talk about it at all because he didn't feel like it was something to talk about. But he did end up talking about it later, and he said, "Yeah, it did affect my pockets, and you know, it sucks." But he kind of took it on the chin and kept going. Like even when.
Kept going how? He didn't do anything.
No, well, like he didn't sit up there like some people and blame all their downfalls on this one event. Like he didn't do that. He did what, I don't know what, like he left the scene or he couldn't get a job or whatever, but he made money doing whatever he made money. I never saw Chingy like going on a rant, getting mad. Sydney Star, that was her name.
Yeah, he didn't
even when Sydney apologized, he took it on the chin. He was like, "Okay, I forgive you." Like it wasn't like I'm so angry and you did all this. Like he mentioned it that it did affect my pocket, and she was like, "I'm so sorry for." But I felt like he was very gracious about the whole situation.
You could have sued her too.
Yeah, he could have, but and got $0. But was he gonna get? She ended up on Love and Hip Hop for one season. Many years later, like she did all of that, and it didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. But maybe she'll pop back up again, and we'll see her doing big things. You know, I want everybody to make money.
I don't think. I think some of that had. I think he had some kind of blame for not. He should have did something because I don't think that was. I know it wasn't his fault, but he could have.
He should have said something about it didn't happen or whatever.
Say something. Yeah, he should have did something. There was a part in there where he's in the hood and niggas is talking. You know, you let that blah blah blah. And he's like, no, that's not me. Like he probably tired of that. Like he should have did something. Right then and there, you should have said something.
I just got the energy that she was happy where he was. I felt like he got success and people hated on him being successful and felt he wasn't that talented and he didn't deserve it. I thought I liked him, and I don't know if it's just because girls like Chingy.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anybody who did not like Chingy.
A lot of guys, like when I talk to guys and when I see them talk about Chingy online, like the one example I'll give you is, do you remember the rapper from Senegal, I think, Bangs? He sang that song, I'll Take You to the Movies. Mm-mm. And then he became viral. Well, I remember they did an interview of Bangs and they asked him his influences. And I remember I was watching it with somebody and he said he liked Chingy. And that was his influence. And the guy was like, oh, that's why he sucks. He likes Chingy. And I was like, wow, I had no idea.
But that dude was probably hating Chingy because of the
so many
Sydney
people
Star
didn't
thing.
Like this Chingy. I
don't know anybody who never didn't like
cute.
Right Third.
He's like, I like the way you do
when
it.
Right Third comes on, you ain't dancing? Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, all girls.
Just because of the Sydney Star. That's what happened. They were hating on him because of the Sydney Star thing because they're homophobic.
I think they didn't like him before. I think there's certain rappers that come out that girls really, really like Drake. And I notice whenever there's a rapper that girls really, really like, men tend to hate on those rappers.
I have a theory, but I think they hate on them because they like that rapper too.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Sexually. I think they're confused, so they hate.
Yeah, because I noticed
how can you hate Drake?
I know, that's what I say.
Except for the fact that he changed his style up for money. Other than if that's your argument, then I can go with you because I'm on that path too. Like I hate that he changed, but I get it because it's for the money. But at the same time, you can't front. He's a good artist. He knows how to make a song now, and you know he knows his hip hop, but he's playing the game.
Yeah,
he's playing the rap game,
which is like making those songs that girls are like, making those popular tunes.
Yeah,
and that's what we
and
like.
And the ladies help. How can you hate that? You hate him because you're attracted to him,
and we're gonna throw money at it.
You want to suck his dick.
And I hate him for making me want to suck his dick.
You want to fuck him.
So that's funny because whenever I watch those old movies about that will have priests in it and they want to hang the witch or torch the hoe, it's because secretly they're attracted to her and they hate her.
Absolutely.
She put some kind of witchcraft, so now she needs to die.
I have to burn the woman that makes me feel things, that makes me want to masturbate when I'm not supposed to masturbate. She has big titties, got a big booty, luscious lips. She needs to burn.
Exactly.
She's making me have impure thoughts. She needs to burn.
Wow. I know.
You guys want to burn Drake because you want to put your dick in his butthole. You're attracted to him. There's no other reason why you don't. Tell me when you get in the club and you hear that hot wing bling, like you don't want to dance to that?
Yeah.
You don't want to dance to that? Come on, man. You gay.
I never thought of it that way. But now I'm going to be thinking twice when a guy says, I don't like Drake, and they get all grumbly over it. It's like,
oh, why? Because he's so light skinned and cute. He's so light skinned and cute. Why are you hating on a brother making money?
Well, so do you think Jidenna got that same energy? Because I feel like I felt like, am I saying his name right? Jidenna. So when he came out with the Classic Man, I was like, oh, the guys have the anthem, but it was a girl song too. Like girls are like, ooh, I want a Classic Man.
The Gentleman Brothers have a song, yes.
What would we call him if he was in a fraternity? He would be the Kappa, like the pretty boy. He's like, he's giving me that energy, and I was like, okay, I could see the guys groove into this and getting dressed up and being, a little bit more. And there were some dudes that kind of took on, and then there were some other guys who were hating. I guess they were still down with NWA and didn't want to like
40,
elevate.
50 years old. You need to start dressing like him. Maybe you get a job, like a better job.
Well, there are some. I like my 50-year-old men to look like, the blue suits, the green suits, the pink suit with the Stacey Adams.
That thing? What's that black golf course that people go to that nobody plays golf?
There's a black golf course?
There's like a golf course. No, I'm sorry. There's a golf course, but sometimes they hold events and it's all black. And that's when brothers and sisters just dress to the nines.
In LA?
Suits and everything. I think it's in Los Angeles.
Oh, I never heard of this.
But nobody plays golf. I think they play sometimes. I think croquet is there. But They're just dressed up. They look amazing.
How did I not hear about this event? And it's too late now because COVID.
Yeah, it's not. But it might not be LA, but I know it happens, and I'm just like, I want to go to that. But
wow,
brothers are wearing like African pattern suits or just suits. Period.
Well, it sounds like
Stacey
you're talking
Adams.
about the Lavu Classic.
Maybe.
Because that, the polo, because they do polo, like the horse polo playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do it in Brooklyn, or they have it at Liberty State Park, which is the one that I want to go to, it's more of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love it.
And they do one in LA.
That's Monet
exactly,
shit.
Yes. I like that vibe.
I like that vibe.
So I didn't hear too many.
Nobody's gonna be fighting. You're gonna mess up my suit.
That's a good point. Some dudes kind of like, I could tell we're hating on Jidenna, but
because you wanna fuck them.
But the majority of them, it seemed like Jidenna got to get him. But I think he got away with it because he had his own lane. He wasn't trying to come in like, I'm a rapper hanging out with gangsters. Like, this is my own lane. Like, I hang out with guys that look like this. So I guess you couldn't hate on him.
I mean, his life was harder than most of y'all niggas. And he's in.
Was it? Because he was light skinned in Africa,
no,
and they had to have AK-47s because they might kidnap light skinned people. Yeah, he kind of lost me.
Nobody's
with that.
kidnapping y'all.
I wasn't really. That's when he kind of made me kind of like, okay, and then next. When he said that, I was kind of like, okay.
Why?
Because he was giving me, what was that Spike Lee movie, School Days? He was giving me that vibe.
You're telling me the truth though.
I don't believe that's the truth. I don't believe in Nigeria they are going to attack you or be on you just because you're light skinned. He was given that story, and that's not true.
So a lot of Jamaicans
because the shade,
like their hair, their skin in Jamaica.
Well, yeah, but they don't. But it's not like they need to be protected with AK-47. No, they don't. It's not like that. It's like anywhere. No, it's like that anywhere. If you go there, they have shade ranges.
Well, he's
too.
telling you his story in Africa. This is his story in Africa.
I'm saying I don't necessarily agree with his story or what he said. I don't think it is to that extreme, because I've seen people there and they're the same shades that we have here. It's not like, oh,
So when his family
light
is
skinned people need to
having
be
AKs,
treated more like
they shouldn't have had AKs.
I don't feel like light skinned people need to walk around with bodyguards because they might be attacked.
Well, probably not now.
Well, yeah, but he said it like now, like as of a few years ago.
No, he was saying that as a kid when he.
No, he was saying now. When he said that now, I was kind of like, okay, all right, now.
I gotta listen to it again. I think he's saying when he was a kid.
And even when he was a kid, like being mixed or biracial, whatever they want to call it, was not like a new concept. There's a lot of biracial people in their 30s from Africa that lived in Africa. It's not that new. I know people want to believe that, but like I've seen too many where I'm like, okay, it's just like US, it's just like England.
Okay, well, we don't know.
We don't know. We can know. It's documented.
No, I mean we can't say that he's lying. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's documented.
We can't say that he's lying because we don't know.
I'm gonna say he was exaggerating.
I don't know how you could exaggerate your family holding guns while you're going to a funeral.
Because you're light skinned.
I don't.
I mean, you're
How
light
can you
skinned.
exaggerate? It's right here. I'm looking at it right here, and we're going to this funeral. I'm just telling you what I see.
You're light
And why?
skinned. Do you feel that your life is threatened because of your?
I'm not in
light
Africa.
skin?
I'm not in that situation. Maybe if I was in that situation and they're telling me that, and that's why they have guns, then I'm gonna believe it because that's what they're telling me, and this is what's happening.
No, I'm just
But that's not
asking
happening
you.
yet.
I'm just asking you. Have you ever felt like your life was threatened because you were light skinned in a place full of all black people?
No, not threatened.
Oh, well, what did you feel like your life was?
Like I had to prove that I am black.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you felt like,
No, I feel comfortable around my people. Yeah.
oh, we're your people.
Why's that funny?
Aww.
You're not my people because I'm half black.
No, I'm just glad that you.
I should be around
think so.
I should be around people like Alicia Keys and the Ball brothers and shit.
The Ball Brothers.
And
I don't
Lenny
know who they
Kravitz.
are. That would be cool. I don't see anything wrong with that.
What? Hanging around with just mixed people hanging around mixed people.
I used to say that because I would rarely meet mixed people who dated other mixed people. And I would.
I think the only people I've seen was Boris and what's her name?
Oh yeah, Nicole Ari.
That's it.
I knew a couple.
Oh, and
in
Lenny
real life.
Kravitz and Lisa
Oh yeah,
Bonet
you're
at the
right.
time, yeah.
Well, but that wasn't really a great couple apparently.
I know, but
I think they were too young
they were too young. I agree,
and you know he was a rock star and.
of course. But anyway, I'm just saying, like I've seen it, but
It's
I don't
kinda
see a
rare,
lot
though.
of.
Don't you think it's rare?
I don't see a lot of Blasians dating Blasians. Like I've never seen that. I'm not saying it's not existent, but I've never seen that. It's either a Blasian with a dark skinned dude or a Blasian with a white girl.
Wow.
That's the only thing I've seen. Like I'm talking like married. I'm talking commitment, boyfriend, girlfriend for a long time. Like just Blasian women dating dark skinned dudes and Blasian men dating white girls.
That is kind of odd. Like, that's a good point.
A lot.
I think, well, I don't know. There is a couple I know, but I don't know if this girl is mixed. She's Chinese, and her husband is Chinese and white. So that she looks like she might be mixed with Chinese and something
Black?
else. No.
Oh,
like
I'm talking
white.
about black.
But like
mixed
no,
kids.
but just in general, if you are Asian and mixed with whether it be white, whether it be Latino, whether it be black, like it's kind of the same principle that you described usually is all across the board. You never see them with another Asian mix. Or what do they call it? What's the
Hapa?
Hapa. Yeah.
You know, I was telling somebody.
Maybe in Hawaii.
Oh, they say I'm popular in Hawaii.
Yeah, I heard that.
I was telling somebody the other day. I was like, if you're tall and white, come to LA. You'll date anything. And you're open. And you're tired of white girls. Come to LA. You'll be able to get a Latino. A Latina, black girl, Asian. You can get whatever you want.
I think that's the case almost everywhere in the world.
Well,
you don't have to be LA.
Especially LA because
I don't think it matters.
Because there's so many women out here. They don't date the same race.
So I came across a YouTube channel, and I wish I remembered the guy's name. He's Chinese American male who has a lot of content criticizing Asian women and how they don't date Asian women. And I watched it for a little bit.
Asian women don't date Asian men?
Mm-hmm. That a lot of...
No, they date white dudes.
He kept calling them self-hating Asian women. I almost, if I closed my eyes, I would have thought I was listening to a black man Hotep channel, because he was saying the same things that I hear those channels. I don't know what to call them.
I'm gonna say this. I am all for like love is love. I really believe in love, but I don't like it when you specifically date a race because you think your race is not good enough to date, so you want to date this or that because it's because you think they'll treat you better or something, and you just haven't met that Chinese or black or whatever that is up to your caliber, but they're out there. It's just you just see white is right, or you have a black man fetish or something, or you see us we're more fun than white people. Like, I don't like that. I think it should be just open across the board.
The problem with it is if you ask someone in that position who is not white and they want to only date white people, they will probably not it like they do it intentionally, but I don't think they're capable of really being honest unless they just say, I want to be with a white guy because I like white men and I think white men are this position and I want to be in that position. I think I could respect somebody who is non-white and says that, other than, oh, I can't help it, or I don't know why, or no, I don't. Yeah. Like, I think if you are, I think they call it differentiated. Like, if you're like, look, this is what I want in my life, and I know I specifically target being with these type of people because this is what I want. I think that I would respect that, and like, nobody should ever say anything about that than somebody who pretends that they don't do that, but their record shows that that's all you do. Like, you really are attracted. I've heard everything from, oh, I don't date guys the same race as me because they remind me of my brother. Like, that's just dumb. Strange. Like, but
your brother's attractive then? You find your brother attractive?
It's really not a thing.
I don't respect it, but I appreciate the honesty. I've heard of a black chick say, oh, I like Italian men because they always have that long hair. Not every Italian man's gonna have long hair. But she's like, I love that silky hair. And I'm like, what movie did you watch, you stupid bitch? Was that
not the like, B word. Yeah, that is a little bit of a weird reason because I've never really seen any Italian men with long hair. Like, out of the ones, all of the ones that I've met, none of them had long hair.
What romantic movie were you watching?
Yeah, it sounds like you're romanticizing it. I agree. Like, now, if she was someone who dated only guys with long hair, then I would believe her because she does date guys with long hair. But if you look at the track record and none of them had long hair, but they were all Italian or they were just all white, then that's different. Like,
even with black dudes,
say that.
Like, black dudes are like, I like straight hair. I don't like the kinky afro. I can't put my hand in it. Like, I like the...
Yeah, and their hair is always...
hair and coarse hair. Put my fingers through coarse hair and blah, blah, blah.
So if a guy said that and his hair was low cut, he always was faded and lined up, that's not as bad as a guy who has kinky hair himself. He has dreads that are unkept, and then he has the nerve to say he don't want a woman who has natural hair. That to me rubs me the wrong way. It's a little weird. It's a little hypocritical.
Yeah, but I've never. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, but I've never heard that.
Oh, it is out here.
Well, yeah,
It's what is that rapper Kodak Black?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that he doesn't like, he is.
Yeah, there's a lot of young dark-skinned brothers who don't like themselves, don't like their skin tone, don't like they think they're ugly, and they want to date outside their race.
Yeah,
because they don't like themselves.
It's sad.
It's sad, but nobody's teaching them, and then they get popular and travel the world and discovering different types of women who will accept them for who they are, but then they see the black woman who is in their ilk, and then they won't date them because they probably see themselves in her and they hate themselves, so they'll never get with a black woman.
It's complicated. It's funny you said no one ever taught them. To be quite honest, the only person who can teach you is your own parents, and that's through their actions. That's through the self love that the love that you got from them, and their appreciation for you, and how they took care of themselves, and how they glamorize certain things. If you grew up in a situation where everything that you are was a negative, like, oh, you're black like this, your hair is like that, and it was always negative, it's not a surprise to me that those kids grew up and they didn't want anything to do with that. Anything that had to do with blackness, because they were told their whole life blackness was ugly. It's not a surprise to me.
Look at Tyrese brought that up. I forgot what it was on, but he was saying his past and how he was called names and blurple and all that shit. But then he grows up and he's a sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
who doesn't like black women? No, I don't know if he does or not. But his baby's mom tends to be
light skin.
I don't even think they're black. A few of them look like they were maybe Mexican or white. I don't know.
I don't think they're. I thought they were ethnic.
Which brings up to a good point. So,
are we getting on another topic?
In the news, we've been on a lot of topics.
No, but
so
we have to end this.
We'll just chop it up.
Well, this is getting too long, so I have to stop it.
All right. Well. We can end it 3 times. I really want to talk about this Joe Budden. Santana.
We could talk a little.
It's really short. Oh no, it's not.
It's because we've been talking for like almost an hour. We're almost at an hour.
We'll close it up. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Mood Now Moves. This is Lee Bishop.
This is Erica Milani.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.